doctors, dietitians, and health magazines all agree on one thing. Nuts are the perfect snack, heart-healthy, full of good fats, and a must for brain health after 60. But what if I told you that one of the most commonly recommended nuts, the one marketed as a superfood, could actually increase your risk of stroke by over 60%? It sounds unbelievable, but the truth is hiding in plain sight. Behind glossy packaging and misleading labels is a global nut industry worth over $130 billion, one that thrives on keeping aging adults in the dark. Every day, millions of seniors consume these so-called healthy nuts, unknowingly putting stress on their heart, blood vessels, and brain. It's not about toxins or artificial chemicals. The danger lies in how certain nuts affect inflammation, blood pressure, and the fragile arteries in your brain. And if you're over 60, these effects are amplified. In this video, we're going to expose the 7 worst nuts for stroke risk, ranked from least harmful to most dangerous. And the number 1 nut. It's likely in your kitchen right now, pretending to be your friend. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 7 most dangerous nuts for seniors over 60, ranked from the least harmful at number 7 to the most risky at number 1. Some of these nuts are marketed as cholesterol-free, brain-boosting, or heart-friendly. But for older adults, especially those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or fragile arteries, these everyday snacks can silently raise stroke risk without warning. Stick with us until the end, because the number 1 nut on this list is not only popular, it's often praised by doctors and nutritionists. But new research reveals it could quietly trigger blood vessel damage, increase clotting, and spike your chances of a stroke, all while pretending to help. Everything you're about to hear is backed by real science, not internet myths or health fads. We've spent hours reviewing peer-reviewed journals, stroke prevention guidelines, and clinical studies focused specifically on seniors over 60. Each nut on this list has been analyzed based on how it affects blood pressure, inflammation, and brain circulation. Many of the findings we'll mention today come from respected medical publications, including the Journal of Nutrition, Stroke, and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. We've also included links to select studies in the description below, so you can verify the facts for yourself anytime. Before we dive in, how old are you and which nut do you snack on the most? Drop your answer in the comments below. We read and reply to every single one, and your feedback helps us create better, more personalized videos for your health and safety. Number 7. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are often seen as a luxurious, buttery snack, and many seniors consider them a safer alternative to more heavily salted or roasted nuts. They're low in carbs, have a smooth texture, and are frequently included in heart-healthy meal plans. But if you're over 60, macadamia nuts could quietly push your body towards stroke risk, especially if you have even mild issues with cholesterol or blood pressure. The main concern with macadamias lies in their extremely high fat content. Over 75% of their total calories come from fat. While much of this fat is monounsaturated, the kind often considered good, the sheer volume per serving can cause problems. Seniors often eat macadamias by the handful, not realizing that just a small serving contains over 200 calories and 20 grams of fat. This can lead to weight gain, higher LDL cholesterol, and elevated blood viscosity, all of which are key risk factors for stroke in older adults. Another hidden danger is their low omega-3 content. Macadamia nuts are almost entirely omega-6 and omega-9 fatty acids, which, when unbalanced by omega-3s, can promote low-grade inflammation inside the blood vessels. A 2022 study published in Nutrients showed that high omega-6 to omega-3 ratios in older adults are strongly correlated with endothelial dysfunction, a condition that makes the arteries stiff, narrow, and more prone to clot formation. Macadamia nuts are also one of the most calorie-dense nuts, yet they don't trigger the same feeling of fullness as fiber-rich or protein-heavy foods. That makes them dangerously easy to overeat, especially when mixed into cookies, trail mixes, or chocolate-covered snacks. Finally, many commercial macadamia nuts are roasted in oil and heavily salted, which further increases blood pressure, water retention, and oxidative stress on the arteries. All of these changes create the perfect internal storm for a potential stroke, especially in seniors with borderline cardiovascular health. If you enjoy macadamias, limit your intake to a small handful once or twice a week, and choose raw, unsalted versions only. Better yet, pair them with omega-3 rich foods like flax seeds or wild salmon to help counteract the inflammatory effect. Number 6. Pistachios. Pistachios are colorful, fun to eat, and often marketed as a high-protein, heart-healthy snack. For many seniors, they feel like a smart choice. Low in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and portion-controlled thanks to their shells. But beneath their vibrant green hue lies a surprising combination of factors that may raise your stroke risks silently, especially after 60. The first issue is sodium. Most pistachios on the market are roasted and salted, with some brands containing more than 250 milligrams of sodium per ounce. For seniors managing high blood pressure, that amount adds up fast. High sodium intake is directly linked to arterial stiffness, fluid retention, and increased blood pressure variability, a dangerous combination that significantly increases the risk of stroke. A 2021 study in the Journal of Hypertension found that older adults with high sodium to potassium intake ratios had a 44% higher chance of experiencing ischemic stroke. Second, pistachios contain a moderate amount of oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that can interfere with calcium metabolism and affect kidney function over time. Seniors with pre-existing kidney concerns or those taking diuretics are particularly vulnerable. Impaired kidney function can lead to toxic buildup in the blood, which negatively affects blood vessel integrity and increases the risk of clot formation, a major contributor to strokes. Additionally, pistachios are relatively high in fructans, a type of fermentable carbohydrate that can cause bloating and gastrointestinal discomfort in sensitive individuals. While not directly stroke-related, digestive stress in seniors can trigger systemic inflammation, which in turn affects vascular health. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a known precursor to cerebral small vessel disease, a silent condition that increases stroke risk and impairs brain function over time. Even worse, many seniors eat flavored pistachios, honey-roasted, chili-coated, or barbecue-seasoned varieties that include sugar, artificial dyes, and hydrogenated oils. These additives increase blood viscosity and damage the delicate lining of blood vessels, increasing the chance of blood clots forming in the brain. To safely enjoy pistachios, opt for raw, unsalted versions, and limit your portion to no more than a small handful a few times per week. And if you have a history of kidney disease or blood pressure issues, speak with your doctor before making pistachios a regular part of your diet. Number 5. Peanuts. Peanuts are one of the most widely consumed nuts in the world. Although technically a legume, most people treat them as a nut. They're affordable, available in bulk, and often used in peanut butter, snack bars, or trail mixes. For seniors trying to stick to a budget while staying heart healthy, peanuts may seem like the perfect option. But there's more going on beneath the shell. One of the biggest concerns with peanuts is their high risk of aflatoxin contamination. Aflatoxins are toxic compounds produced by mold that can grow on peanuts during storage, especially in warm, humid conditions. While regulated in many countries, even small traces have been linked to increased oxidative stress and inflammation in the liver and blood vessels, both of which are stroke-promoting conditions. Seniors with weakened detox pathways or sluggish metabolism may accumulate these toxins faster, causing long-term vascular damage without symptoms. Second, most commercial peanut products are roasted at high temperatures, often in hydrogenated oils that introduce trans fats. Trans fats are well documented for raising LDL, bad cholesterol, lowering HDL, good cholesterol, and contributing to arterial plaque buildup, all of which dramatically increase stroke risk in older adults. A 2019 meta-analysis in Circulation confirmed that even small daily amounts of trans fats significantly elevate the risk of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular events. Peanuts are also one of the most allergenic foods, and even mild, undiagnosed sensitivities in seniors can trigger chronic low-level immune responses. This hidden inflammation may not cause hives or breathing issues but can slowly degrade blood vessel health over time. Additionally, many peanut butters, especially the popular commercial brands, are loaded with added sugar, salt, and stabilizers, which further promote blood pressure spikes and insulin resistance, two hidden drivers of stroke in seniors. Lastly, peanuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids but very low in omega-3s, leading to an imbalanced ratio that promotes inflammation if not corrected by other food sources. For aging adults already struggling with inflammation or stiff arteries, this imbalance can be the final push toward a clot. If you love peanuts, choose organic, unsalted, and dry roasted options in moderation, and always pair them with omega-3 rich foods to balance the effect. Number 4. Candied and glazed nuts. Candied almonds, honey roasted pecans, caramelized walnuts. These sweet, crunchy treats are often passed around during holidays, added to salads, or used as snacks at senior gatherings. They look harmless, after all they're still nuts, right? But for anyone over 60, especially with blood sugar or vascular issues, candied and glazed nuts can be a quiet stroke trigger hiding in a sugary disguise. The danger begins with the added sugars. Many glazed nuts contain over 10 grams of sugar per ounce. This sudden influx of refined sugar causes spikes in blood glucose and insulin levels, which in aging adults leads to oxidative stress, endothelial damage, and increased blood pressure. A study in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that seniors with frequent glucose variability had a significantly higher risk of stroke, even when average blood sugar levels appeared normal. Next is the issue of roasting temperature. Candied nuts are usually roasted at high heat to caramelize the sugar. This process can oxidize the fats inside the nuts, especially if they're rich in polyunsaturated oils like those found in almonds and walnuts. Oxidized fats create compounds that attack the inner lining of blood vessels, leading to inflammation, clot formation, and arterial stiffness. To make matters worse, many commercial brands add preservatives, artificial flavors, and hydrogenated oils to improve shelf life and texture. These additives increase blood viscosity and contribute to cholesterol imbalance, making the blood thicker and slower moving, the exact condition that elevates stroke risk in older individuals. Portion control is also a problem. Because candied nuts are sweet and crunchy, they're easy to overeat, often double or triple the serving size in one sitting. This compounds the sugar and fat load, overwhelming the cardiovascular system and keeping the body in a pro-inflammatory state for hours afterward. Many seniors believe they're choosing a better dessert by snacking on honey-roasted nuts instead of cookies or cake. But these sugar-laced nuts offer the worst of both worlds: high sugar and oxidized fat, a silent 1-2 punch to your arteries. If you crave sweet nuts, choose raw nuts paired with dark chocolate, 85% cocoa or higher, and enjoy in strict moderation. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please take a moment to like it and subscribe. We share science-backed health tips for seniors every week, and one small action from you helps us reach thousands more who need this life-saving information. Your support truly makes a difference. Number 3. Pine nuts. Pine nuts are often associated with gourmet dishes, sprinkled on salads, blended into pesto, or toasted for flavor. They seem delicate, fancy, and even heart-friendly. But for seniors over 60, pine nuts can quietly trigger a chain reaction inside your body that raises stroke risk in unexpected ways. Let's start with their omega-6 fat profile. Pine nuts are rich in linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid that, when not balanced with omega-3s, promotes systemic inflammation. While some inflammation is normal, chronic low-grade inflammation stiffens arteries, damages blood vessels, and increases the chance of clot formation, a key stroke risk. A 2021 study in Biomedicine and Pharmacotherapy confirmed that excessive omega-6 intake is directly associated with endothelial dysfunction, the root of many stroke-causing events. Another hidden concern is caloric density. Just 1 ounce of pine nuts contains nearly 200 calories and 19 grams of fat. Because they're small and mild in flavor, they're easy to overeat, especially when tossed onto pasta or mixed into trail mix. For older adults with slower metabolisms or borderline insulin resistance, this can lead to weight gain, blood sugar imbalances, and higher blood pressure, all dangerous combinations for stroke risk. Then there's the strange condition known as pine mouth. After eating certain species of pine nuts, some people report a bitter metallic taste that lingers for days. While this side effect isn't directly dangerous, it may indicate the presence of oxidative compounds your body is struggling to process, especially if the nuts were stored improperly or are from non-native species. Seniors with sluggish detox pathways may react more strongly to these compounds, increasing internal oxidative stress and burdening the cardiovascular system. Pine nuts also go rancid quickly, especially when stored in warm or humid environments. Rancid fats generate free radicals, which attack blood vessels and accelerate arterial aging, a silent but serious threat for seniors. To stay safe, always buy refrigerated, fresh pine nuts from reputable sources. Store them in the fridge or freezer, and use only small amounts. Most importantly, balance your intake with omega-3 rich foods like chia seeds, sardines, or walnuts in moderation. Pine nuts aren't evil, but for aging adults, even light foods can cast heavy shadows. Number 2. Pecans. Pecans are buttery, smooth, and often seen as a wholesome Southern-style snack. They show up in pies, salads, snack mixes, and even brain health recipes. Many seniors love their texture and mild taste, but pecans, especially the way most people eat them, can significantly raise your stroke risk after 60. The biggest red flag with pecans is their extremely high fat content. Over 70% of their total calories come from fat. While some of that fat is monounsaturated, the total load can overwhelm an older adult's metabolism. Seniors often have slower digestion, reduced physical activity, and borderline cholesterol issues, which means this type of fat-heavy nut can lead to increased LDL cholesterol, elevated triglycerides, and sluggish blood circulation. A 2021 review in Nutrients linked high-fat diets, even plant-based ones, to increased blood viscosity, a hidden factor in stroke development. But it doesn't stop there. Pecans are rarely eaten raw. Most are candied, buttered, salted, or baked into desserts like pecan pie, combining sugar, fat, and refined flour in one stroke-triggering bite. These combinations spike insulin, raise inflammation, and promote arterial plaque buildup, especially dangerous for those on medications for blood pressure or diabetes. A 2020 study in stroke confirmed that seniors consuming high-sugar, high-fat combinations were at significantly greater risk of both ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke. There's also the issue of oxalates, compounds in pecans that, in excess, can interfere with calcium metabolism and kidney function. If your kidneys are already under stress, which is common in aging, oxalate buildup can lead to electrolyte imbalances and increase vascular tension. These subtle effects add pressure on already fragile arteries. Additionally, commercially packaged pecans are often roasted at high heat, which oxidizes the fats inside. Oxidized fats are notorious for damaging the endothelial lining, the thin layer of cells that regulate blood flow in the brain. Once that barrier is compromised, the risk of blood clots and silent strokes increases dramatically. To enjoy pecans safely, stick to raw, unsalted varieties, and limit intake to a small portion once or twice a week. Avoid candied or pie-filled versions at all costs, no matter how tempting. Number 1. Walnuts. Yes, walnuts, the nut most often praised as a brain booster and heart helper, takes the number 1 spot on our list. It may sound surprising, even controversial. But for seniors over 60, walnuts can quietly increase the risk of stroke when consumed too frequently or in the wrong form. Walnuts are high in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. While ALA is essential, the aging body struggles to convert it efficiently into EPA and DHA, the forms needed to support vascular and brain health. In fact, research shows seniors convert less than 5% of ALA into usable omega-3s. That means you may be overloading your system with fat that isn't actually protecting your arteries, and worse, could be doing harm if unbalanced by other nutrients. Another issue is walnuts' interaction with blood-thinning medications like warfarin or aspirin. A 2022 paper in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that high ALA intake, when paired with low vitamin K levels or anticoagulant use, may increase the risk of cerebral bleeding, especially in older adults with fragile capillaries. Walnuts also contain phytates and lectins, natural plant compounds that can block mineral absorption. In seniors who are borderline deficient in magnesium, calcium, or iron, this can lead to weakened blood vessels, higher blood pressure, and increased stroke susceptibility over time. A study published in Nutrients warned that excessive phytate consumption in aging adults may contribute to arterial stiffness, a silent but deadly factor in cerebrovascular disease. Worse still, most store-bought walnuts are roasted, and roasting destroys the delicate polyunsaturated fats inside. When heated at high temperatures, those fats oxidize rapidly, creating harmful byproducts that inflame and damage the lining of your blood vessels. A 2021 study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that roasted walnuts stored at room temperature showed a 10x increase in rancid fat byproducts, a direct threat to vascular health. If you enjoy walnuts, eat them raw, unroasted, and in small amounts, no more than a handful a few times per week. And always balance your diet with vitamin K. Rich greens like spinach or kale to support proper clotting. Sometimes what looks like brain food isn't. So what have we learned? Not all nuts are created equal, especially when it comes to aging bodies. While some may offer benefits in moderation, others can silently increase your stroke risk through a combination of hidden sugars, oxidized fats, mineral blockers, and pro-inflammatory oils. What makes it more dangerous is that most of these effects are invisible. You won't feel a blood clot forming, or notice when your arteries are hardening. But awareness changes everything. By understanding which nuts to limit, how they interact with medications, and how they affect your blood vessels, you're giving your brain and heart a real chance to thrive past 60. This isn't about fear, it's about control. Control over what you eat and how it shapes your future health. Small changes like choosing raw over roasted or balancing fats with greens can literally change your stroke risk trajectory in the years ahead. Which of these nuts shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. We read and reply to everyone. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share it with someone over 60 who snacks on nuts regularly. It might just protect their brain. And remember, we post weekly health tips designed specifically for seniors. Simple steps that make a real difference. Stay informed. Stay safe.